আমাকে এসেই love to the FBI. Come on. In the chat room, you know what I mean. Give me your age, your city, your gender. Roll call, y'all. Hey. Big Shirley. Y'all leave Big Shirley alone. Don't mess with Big Shirley. Big Shirley needs love too.
It's not a problem, no. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No.
Shout out to my friends over at Louis Vuitton. Yeah, girl, I know you over there ovulating behind what happened today. If you go on Instagram, it was classic. This stuff right here. Oh. You're fine no matter what. Oh, you badass FBI's out there. You feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies. What's going on?
I'm a PhD.
But you are. Your PhD ass. We are good. We are good. We are good. We are good. What's going on, baby boy, baby girl? Your godfather's back in the house, and the house is packed. Now, remember, all I need from you guys is to keep the engagement up over 50%. 50%, that means likes, dislikes, cuss outs, whatever, just as long as it stays up over 50%. As long as it stays over 50%, you don't have to worry about hearing that loud intermission song that sounds like this. You don't want to hear that song. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that sound, but I know some people actually have grown to like it. I know you still like it, Doctor. Doc says she still like it. It's all good. I know many people have grown to like it. And I'm going to tell you this. We have grown this channel. We have grown this platform. We have grown this movement. Because if nothing else, we have begun to start having conversations that are not happening other places. Yes, I've realized that, high value this or high value that has taken, on a life of its own. And I will be responding to some of my latest high value critics, even though, I endeavor to stay out of beefs and squabbles and back and forth. But, good people can disagree, but it's how you disagree that matters a lot as a man, especially a man of value and of substance. More on that later. You see the title in the chat. You see the title of the video. She still thinks she's the schnit. Yeah, we got a lot of noise going on over here, guys. LA is about to go on another curfew. So people are getting all their life in. And I ain't mad at them. By the time they go on curfew, I will be up out of this piece. So I think a lot of folks are just kind of doing what they do. So hold on just a second. All right. So, we're not going to worry about it. as LA is about to go on curfew on Saturday, LA is been a great trip, but I realized that I'm much more of a New York City guy. I'm much more of a coast guy. Uh, but why do I want to do this show today? Why do I want to do this show today? Baby mamas who still think they are the stuff. And I need to speak about a particular subset of women. They fall into that adjustable 6, but closer to the 8, closer to the 8 range of the adjustable 6, not closer to the 6 range. An adjustable 6, for those of you who don't know, when I rank people, rate women, I don't use 7s because my reasons. You're either a 6, which is cute, or you're an 8, which is pretty. 7 allows too much gray area for many people. And an adjustable 6 is a woman who walks around and she's cute. And on any given Sunday, she can decide that she wants to be pretty. And all she has to do is put some, do herself up, as it were. Adjustable 6s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. That's who we're going to talk about today. Adjustable 6s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. These are the women who get a lot of attention. They're used to getting attention. They're used to getting their pick of the litter. They're used to guys trying to holler at them, try to court them because they look good. And it has always been that way. Even before social media, it has been that way. Okay? These are the women who were like the head cheerleader, the it girl, all those women, and her posse that she hung with. We're talking about women that even if you had to play the wingman, you still weren't coming up short by hollering at Vanessa. There was Cheryl, there's Joanne, there's Shelly, there's Vanessa, and then there's Sheila. Everybody wants Sheila. Oh, Sheila. Everybody wanted Sheila. Sheila was the bad one. And only certain kind of men could get the Sheilas of the world. But if you happen to get her cousin or her friend Vanessa, Vanessa was no slouch. And often Vanessa wins more than Sheila because Vanessa had to work harder. But here's what we're talking about. Women who are adjustable 6s, at least cute. We're talking about Thelma on Good Times range. To Beyonce, to Kelly Rowland, up to Halle Berry or old school Vanessa Williams. I watched Hoodlum the other day, throwback movie, and God dog, Vanessa Williams was Shimburger. That woman was so fine back in the I digress. Okay, we know the class of women we're talking about. Cute, nice body, dress size 6 or under, fit, tone, just bad. Bad. Cute, pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous. But what ends up happening? Somewhere along the way, let's talk about it. There's Hillary, that's like Sheila. There's Tina, and there's Angie. Angie ain't in this group. These are the Tinas of the world. The Tinas and the Tiffanys. Tinas and Tiffany's could have went either way, but somewhere along the way, Tina decided to start dealing with bums, losers, deadbeats, guys who were not on her level. And he may have put it on her, whatever. The guy she chose to kick it with, she just threw caution to the wind and allowed him to go in there raw and shooting up the club. Cacao. And what ends up happening? Here comes Tiffany or Tina, and they're pregnant. They're pregnant in their early 20s. They're pregnant before 25. And they're in love. They found their soulmate, whatever. And like everything else, it falls apart. They got 1 kid by the dude, 2 kids by the dude. Then inevitably, it falls apart. And then they run back out here and think that, well, you know what? I'm Tiffany. I'm Tina. I'm still pretty. I'm still the ish. and they cannot quite comprehend that the game done changed. You're not who you were back on the game, and it's hard for a lot of baby mamas who used to be. Well, let you know what I can show you better. Now I can. I got something. I got something better. I got something better than that. Let's play a video because I actually had a video. I had a caller that typified this mindset better than anything else, and I'm going to tell you what's made this call so funny in a minute. But when I tell you that these women still think that they are the stuff, they have a hard time wrapping their mind around new realities. Let's get into it. All right, I'm coming back to you guys, iPad 2, whatever your name is. Hi, Susan.
I make great money. I have good, well behaved children. And I am in LA dating. And I just find dating in LA so hard. So I actually don't have like a problem like meeting like what you call like high profile men, like men or
You
high
just got a problem
value.
getting a husband.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because you got two kids. Boom. Y'all remember this call? Caller from LA who just could not wrap her, just like most women calling in, what's going on with these men? These men are the problem. These men are the issue. Not realizing that, no, the issue is you decide to go out and have 1, 2 kids out here on the open dating market. But it's particularly a problem for women who are cute, pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous. This call is you wait till the end. You wait till I tie this all together. Sit back, relax. You're going to enjoy this one.
so it's just the 2 kids thing.
No,
like,
it's not just. It's not just. It's not just. It's big. I mean, you're 30 years old and all this career stuff. But where? How many different fathers?
1.
Okay. How come you and he didn't get married?
I was so young when I was in that relationship. So I met him when
How
I
old
was
is your
really
oldest
young.
child?
10.
How old is your youngest?
7.
So you were 23. That's
when
not
I
young.
had my daughter, yeah. So my kid's father, he was older than me.
But listen to what I'm about to say. You were younger. You were old enough to make babies.
Yeah.
First one at 20, even though I'm not okay with it, I can let it slide. But the second one, man, that's a choice. Why didn't you?
No, we were in the I was with him for 6 or 7 years.
But you weren't his wife, and that's a difference.
Yeah.
So if you let me. Key point number 1. You out here making babies and not getting the benefit of a marriage. And this happens a lot to you adjustable 6s, 7s, your adjustable 6s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Because you're used to going through life on your looks. Your looks open doors. You don't have to get things in writing or contractually because you assume the pretty is going to last forever. And that as long as you stay pretty and in shape, you'll still be that hot little thing you've always been. Oh, but no. Explain it to you. I'll try. You're a woman that was with a man for 6 or 7 years, and you gave him the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet. You gave him children. You gave him not only 1, you gave him 2. And yet you did not require him to even bestow the title of a wife upon you. So you go back out into the market, older, with 2 children, you expect someone in that market to accept you older and bestow the title of wife upon you? That's how men look at it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And then being in LA, one of the most. In LA. Oh, yes, in LA. LA is loaded with beautiful women. loaded with beautiful women. I was in the Rite Aid earlier today, and I was remarking to the cashier, how do y'all focus out here with all these beautiful women? Everywhere you go, women are just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful women are on trees. Just beautiful woman picking up trash. I mean, guys, if you've never been to LA, it is some beautiful women here. But here's the thing. The rules don't stop. Beautiful women who decided to have children, become a baby mama, and then you're back out here on the open dating market wondering what the problem is with guys. Let's get into it. Competitive markets for women in the world. Competition is stiff out there. I'll be there in a couple of weeks. Beautiful woman on every corner.
Say, so I do meet great men. I don't think it's hard finding the man to
okay, man,
be committed to.
Oh, no. Remember that. I don't think it's hard to find a man to be committed to. Now, here's the thing. Your Godfather, I date. That's one of the good things about me is I'm still out here with you guys. And I make no bones about it. In order to be good at what I do, I experience what you guys experience. So I'm on all the dating apps. Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, Not Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, Seeking Arrangements. I actually probably will get on that early. Why? Because I want to. It's a great place to meet. Shout out to Emil Amir. Guys, if you are not using everything to your advantage, you're foolish. You can get out here, and especially if you move and you travel around, you go to a city, one of the first things you want to do is turn on your apps and change your geography and let opportunity come to you. But see, there's a difference. When you are a man of value, the game changes. The game changes, and woo! The game changes because you can pick and choose your shots. You can take your time. You don't have to rush. You don't have to push because, as you are hearing, beautiful women are out here, and they're having problems finding guys like you. Ladies, like it or not, you outnumber us. There are physically more women than men. And you cannot afford to be like some of the women who have called my show, a dress size 16, 18, or 20, asking about the problems with men. Multiple children by by one or two or three dudes. Look, these things cost you. And thinking that just because you are still cute, pretty, or beautiful, or gorgeous, thinking you're still the ish as a baby mama, reality is going to tell you something different. See, this is how we judge over here. We don't judge by dealing with dating. We judge in weddings. That's the only thing that counts. If you're not married, you're losing. See, that makes it real clear because you've had everything up to that point anyway, right?
I've been engaged.
Right. I don't count those either. Been engaged. Remember, we don't count deal with. Remember, one of the best things I ever gave you guys, and when you ladies, we don't deal with, can deal with engagements. Pretty women are some of the most engaged, unmarried, pretty, sadly, cute, pretty, beautiful African-American women tend to be some of the prettiest, engaged, but unwifed women. More on that later. Because women, especially a lot of black women, have been engaged for a long time, 3, 4, 5 engagements. See, when you make it real clear, there's a high value man or whatever term you're using, has any one of them married you? And the answer is no. And that's what I say. The dating market is difficult because you're not an unattractive woman. Sure, a guy will take you out for a nice date. You really want to know what we think? Get my likes up. We got 200, 300 more to go. 300 more to go. It should be at least 1,700. We will go to round 2 if we need to. Guys, let's see. All right, man, and make sure.
How tall are you?
Keep throwing.
I'm 5'6". I weigh 115 pounds.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'll take you out. Oh hell yeah, I would take you out.
So I don't have a problem finding men taking
Of course
me out.
not. I would. But the thing is, but what are you finding them for though? Yeah.
And this is where the disconnect tends to be. I don't have a problem finding men to date. Yeah, but the thing that men will take you out for with your cute self is sex. That's what the caller was saying. Where are all the good men at? Where are all the men who want relationships and marriage? You don't get them. Because you chose to have a baby before you got married for 1, 2 different times. And you are still trying to date based on your looks, thinking you're still the shit. And you're not. Those children cost you. But you can't tell a lot of baby mamas, especially women that remember the days where they got in the VIP for free, the days where they were getting flued out and everything else. They think that this happens so often with adjustable 6s and 8s. Even let's get it right out to the 8s and 9s. 8s, 9s, and 10s who used to be the shit. You are no longer the stuff after you have a child. And you're still trying to get out here and date and negotiate as if you're still hot stuff. And you're not.
I'll take you out, get you a nice steak and some lobster. We'd have a good old time. And I would blow your back out, but I wouldn't marry you.
See,
now I want to be clear. I'm talking to this person because she's asking a question and trying to help you. Lady, I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for men in general. Wait till you see how this story ends. Because I had many women saying, oh, you were so mean to her. That was so harsh. She's so misunderstood. You know, I never do anything without having a reason. And the point was, ma'am, you don't seem to get it. 2 kids means you can't get what it is. You can't get what you used to get.
What I think I really have an issue is like finding men that don't want like the superficial. Like I feel like the type of guys, like they just want a woman that like looks good on their arm. Like,
yes.
Now remember this part too. This is a woman who came in. I'm a mother of 2 kids and I'm a career woman and my kids are beautiful and gorgeous and well behaved, and I don't want a man who's just into this petty superficial stuff. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. I want more. Oh, you can't make it up.
So like when you say,
hold on, listen, let me stop right there. Yes, that's what we want because that's who we are. And you want a man.
That's the problem I have with dating.
But listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Yeah, the problem she has with dating is the men want beautiful women who don't have children. The problem is that, and again, thank you, Roxy, saying riding on the pretty. Here's the thing, you wasted the pretty, babe. You wasted the pretty. And as I said further, it ain't just the men aren't the problem. Look at how many women call into this show trying to understand what's going on with men and why are men. No, ma'am. More you ladies need to take accountability, be honest with yourself, and accept what's going on.
You want men not to be men. You want men to think like women. That's not what we value, ma'am. We want a beautiful woman on our arm.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, no, you're the problem.
I'm the
Because,
problems.
yes,
Did you hear this woman? We want a woman, a beautiful woman on our arm, and she actually had the nerve to say that's the problem. So guess what? To the men of the world, all 3.5 billion of you, you're the problem. Not her. Not a woman who, not women who decided to go out and do what they do. Fine, you can do that. But then you want to come back and judge you for wanting what you want. Why? Because pretty privilege is the business. Pretty, pretty baby mamas are a special breed because they really still think they are the shit.
you're the problem because I'm telling you what men want. You've experienced what men want and you've got a problem with it. That's your problem. We're not going to change. You're either going to get on board with it or you will die alone.
So what should I be looking for then?
Well, honestly, first you need to get down and understand that you have no leverage. You have no leverage in this matter. It's the men. We control access to relationships. You control access to sex. You need to understand what a man that you would want, what he would want in a girlfriend, wife, or significant other.
Like a good mother,
No, ma'am. No,
a
no, no, no,
good
ma'am. No,
wife.
that changes from every man. That changes from man to man. Where's your father?
Oh, I didn't grow up with a mother or a father.
All right. So, due respect, you don't.
So, Derek, if that is you in the chat room, because the avatar looks like yours, but there's no check mark. You're asking me, how is she the problem? Sit back and listen to the video, but there's an entire video. uh, yeah, I don't know if this is really your account or not. How is she the problem, though? Pay attention.
Don't seem to get that men judge the way we judge. And yes, like I said, you have no problem getting men to pay you attention. You've got no problem attracting men, but
Yeah,
getting a man to take you seriously. And would you like to be married?
I would.
Okay, and that's a problem because you're asking a man to become a stepfather. You're asking, let's say you're asking me to come in and take care of one man's child, a man's two children.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't create those. It's all downside. I've been a stepfather. It's a horrible deal.
What about
I
the
don't,
men that have children of their own? They want a stepmother.
well, again, you still act
Speak
as
like
though you
most men at this
listen.
age.
Okay, listen. I'll answer it. See, you're still speaking as if you have leverage in this thing, and I'm trying to level set you. Even if I have children, I got more options than you. I can go find a woman with no kids because I can afford both of you. If I can afford to take care of you and your
Troll account or not, how is she the problem? The problem is walking out into a dating market, blaming men for wanting what they want. See, we have far too many people telling women, you can have your standards, girl. Have your standards. Set your standards high. You can be a queen, this, that, such and so forth. And that's fine. Guess what? Men have them too. And we don't tell the complete story. That's a problem because you have a woman out here with one, two children, faulting men for having standards, faulting men for wanting what they want. But yet they can want whatever they want from men. And if you pay attention, you will hear this woman go into how she wants. You can't make it up.
kids, I can afford to take care of her and no kids.
Yeah.
Why would I pick you and your kids when I know your kids are not going to, I'm not their father. They'll never look at me as their father. I got all the responsibility and none of the upside of being a biological father. Can I discipline those children like they were my own?
They don't need discipline. They're very
See, that's your
good.
problem.
Problem number one, she's got kids that she doesn't want anybody to discipline because they don't need discipline. That's a problem. Now, because I happen to be really good at what I do, And I do this in real life because I do go back and forth with people in real time every night. I'm pretty good at analyzing, reading, and adjusting. So maybe I don't know everything, but I see a pattern. An entitled, self-absorbed person who wants what she wants, but doesn't want people to want what they want. I'm sorry, that's a problem. And we need to start telling women it's a problem because men aren't accepting it. It's not a problem, then why doesn't she marry the guy that she had 1-2 kids with? That's a problem. We act as though what women can do with anything they want to, and no one's supposed to say anything. And if you do, you're toxic. You're bullying. You're toxic masculine. That is BS. Telling women there's no fault in the things they do does not help women. I have women in here call every night and say, you know, when I first started listening to you, I didn't like you. But now I'm a better wife. I'm a better mother. Go through my catalog. I stand by my work because it happens every day. Monday through Friday, live. You can't make it up.
There you go, right there. She said they don't
really
need discipline.
Don't.
Okay, this
My
is
kids
why.
are so
This is
great.
why. This is you're in freaking sane if you don't think children, your kids are not special. They need discipline just like anyone else. Maybe you don't. Okay. Then this is the problem. They don't need discipline. So the answer is, could I discipline the child?
Yeah.
Okay, without you questioning me.
Yeah. If I choose you as my partner, like have complete trust in you.
Okay,
and, like,
so I could spank the children.
10, they don't need spanked.
No. I could spank.
You see how that's a problem? How she's will quickly say, yes, you can just, if I choose you my partner, yes, being of dual mind, saying stuff that you don't mean is a problem. Because if a man said something he didn't believe, we call him a liar. We call him unstable, foundation unset. We're talking about a woman with 1-2 children. I expect women to be what they say they are. Adults.
See right there? I said I could discipline children. You said yes.
Spanking. Oh,
Pay
Lord.
attention, woman.
I am.
You said I could discipline the children without you questioning me. Yes. So if I decide to spank them, I got to listen to your mouth because they don't need it. That's why you need to stay single until your kids are gone. That's the choice you made when you reproduced, ma'am. And
I have a question. Why don't more people tell women this? You decided, you chose, no child gets born in 2000, no child gets born today that was not wanted. Meaning, there are too many forms of birth control prior to conception and too many options post-conception. No woman is forced to have a child. So I don't give women outs for choosing when a life is born. And when you choose that, you choose everything that comes along with it. But not enough people tell women that, guess what? You choosing to do that is fine. But you're going to either need to accept everything that comes along with it, the ups and the downs, especially if you're not going to be married to the father, and know that it's going to hurt you in the open dating market because the world doesn't owe you acceptance or understanding. And if that's too much for you, if you don't want anybody to be don't want anybody to deal with your kids, whatever, then sit it out. See, we are good to tell men, stay in your lane, do better, improve. But guess what? We are finally starting to have a conversation with women because what they're realizing is all this feel-good prosperity preaching, this ain't nothing wrong with you, queen, ain't working. They look on their left finger and they don't have a wedding ring from a man of value that they respect. It may feel good to hear it, but it ain't getting them where they want.
I need you ladies to understand something. You going out here having babies without marriage and then breaking up with men, you incur consequences. We don't want those kids around us because we cannot take care of them, cannot discipline them. We don't want to have to put up with all this other stuff. You're a fun woman. Guys look at you and be like, she's got 2 kids and she's 5'6", 115. She's a lot of fun. She's obviously sexually active. I'll have a good time with you, but no way, God, not no way, but very unlikely the man's going to take you seriously, especially when you start talking.
So now, for all the men, recognize the truth of what I just said. Is you could be as pretty as you want to, but talking about a man of consequence taking you seriously, the chances are slim to none. Why is that such an issue telling women that you chose to be a mother once and twice? Why is that such a problem? Instead of saying, well, whatever, queen, you can do what you want, queen, because no one's marrying these queens. When her lament off the rip, but she can't find anyone of consequence to be serious with. Oh, it gets better.
Because I believe what you're telling me is honestly, and I'm like, who wants this deal?
Who doesn't want this deal? A beautiful woman that is a great mother, has a
Right.
great career.
Okay.
Who doesn't want this deal? Listen to what she said. This is her selling point. A beautiful woman. What's the next selling point? A great mother. We don't give a snot. Those aren't our kids, ma'am. Being a great mother does not make you the stuff out here, ma'am. The baby daddy didn't value it enough, ma'am, or she'd still be with him. So if the man who shot up the club and gave you 2 children didn't value it enough to keep it, why do you expect us to? Again, she led with the beauty because that's what you got. Good for you, but you're not still the shit. A beautiful, a great mother, which is subjective. You can say you're a great mother. I don't know. The jury's out on it. But anybody who's talking about kids don't need disciplining, I don't want to be anywhere around those kids. Have you ever been around people who don't discipline their children? I don't know many men of consequence who want to deal with that. And then what is the next thing she said?
I'm a PhD.
Your career. Two of the three things she put out there as her selling points, we don't give a schnitt about.
Don't care about your career.
Strong, like I'm submissive.
Nobody. But listen, did you hear what I just said? Did you
just
just okay? Did you hear what I just said? Don't care about your career.
Yeah,
the thing is, ma'am, it's the 2 kids. That's the 2.
Remember, she classified herself as strong as she's not strong, but she's submissive. Remember that.
Kids. Everything you're saying does not overcome the deficit that 2 children bring.
If you have money, that doesn't matter to you.
If you have what?
I said you have money, that doesn't matter to you financially.
No, your money doesn't matter to us because we don't have access to it. Get this through your head, ladies. Your career does not matter to us. Not like you want it to. Your money does not matter to us because we don't have access to it. I've tackled this many times before too. Remember the woman, the previous couple of weeks ago, woman calling in, talking about her great career? How much you ever spent on a guy? $600. I bought him a bag. $600, that's dinner. The things you're trying to sell do not overcome the deficit of children. If this were a math equation, you'd have to balance it. If it were a seesaw, beauty, education, income, even if we rated those things, children, boom. How much would you have to put on this side to overcome 2 kids? How much would you have to put over here to overcome 2 children that you can't discipline, that she says don't need discipline, who have a father out there moving around doing something that's going to have influence, impact in your life? So how's she the problem though? Is it becoming more clear? Oh, we got more.
More.
You have what?
I have more.
More
money. I have more money than you. I have
Oh,
more
I
money than
understand
I
that.
have more
Yeah.
money, and I can go over there and get her. And she's 25. She has no kids, and I don't have to I don't have to deal with any of the stuff we just talked about. She's 25, agreeable, cooperative, fit, and ready to get on my program. Have butt naked, freaky circus sex, and she's happy to be there and experience all these new things. I'm dealing with a 30-year-old woman who's
What
got
about
her mind.
connection?
Listen,
What about connection? You got connected. Your uterus was connected to another human being twice. And it is time for men to start telling women and for women to start hearing this. Anybody that's telling you that having children doesn't affect your sexual marketplace value and your selling price is lying to you. But I understand if you have telling women the truth is a difficult thing. But I would rather tell them the truth than having to make a choice other than filling their head up with stuff that ain't going to end up working because 30 years old, she still thinks because she's pretty, she's the snit. Listen to what I'm saying. Is she talking like a woman who's had 2 kids who realizes that, dang, having these 2 kids out here on this open dating market in LA is going to really, really hurt my chances. So I need to do something to compensate for my liabilities. No, she's questioning the men, saying these men are shallow. And you're asking me what the problem is?
okay. See, when this conversation is over, I go back to my wonderful life. You go back to your life still trying to figure these things out. And I'm just trying to help you, lady. I'm not
So
saying you're
just
not. Everything you're
don't try
saying
to
you
settle
are.
down for the next like 8 years,
But you're
basically.
not. Okay. And who is actively pursuing you to be their wife?
Pay attention. So you're telling me not to settle down for the next 8 years? Pay attention.
Yeah, I got options.
Who is actively pursuing you to be their wife?
I got options. I don't really like
Ma'am,
them.
you did
I like
no, that would be a fiance. See, this is where the truth comes in. You can either, ma'am, you don't have these kind of options. And
I
I'm
do
trying to
have
explain.
options.
Okay, then you wouldn't be here.
If you had options, you wouldn't be here. Get my likes up, folks. I know y'all ain't enthralled in it. You probably saw numbers, but gotta hit the like button, people. We should be we should be at least at 2,100 likes. Come on. Listen to the delusion. I got options. I got options. I got options. And see, that's the problem with the pretty. Yeah, ma'am, you got options. Men who want to have sex with you, men who want to be seen with you. The things you don't want or things you have a problem with men for being. And I'm just telling you, you don't have the options that you want. Oh, you gotta wait to see how this wraps up.
If you actually had options of the kind and caliber of man that you want, then they were really considering you to be their wife, you wouldn't be here right now.
I know. I'm just kind of like learning about. I mean, I'm new here, so this is literally like my first time, like really
Well,
You're new to my channel, but you're not new to the planet.
watching
but
your
the thing
videos.
is, ma'am, you're still you're a baby mama of 2.
Hmm.
And are you telling me you're dating someone seriously?
Oh, I always have options.
I'm going
Listen to how I always have options. This is why you should be very careful dealing with women with children, especially pretty ones. Pay attention, gentlemen. Ladies, this may not be you, but it's likely one of your homegirls.
to ask you one more time, and if you are vague, I'm going to bid you a good night. Just asking you, are you dating someone seriously?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been seeing one another?
It's been like 2 years.
2 years. Has he expressed any desire to make you his wife?
Yes.
Has he taken you ring shopping in the last 2 years?
Now remember, this woman came on here talking about dating in LA, but she's claiming that she's had a relationship with somebody for 2 years and the man wants to marry her. If we flipped that and made it a man, if we made her a man and made that a woman on the other end of 2 years, what would we call him? What would the world call him? See, no, he'd be all kind of dogs, he'd be all kind of pejoratives. But yeah, she's just as callous. I got options, and I got somebody who wants to marry me. I've been dealing with for 2 years, but I would rather get somebody. Oh yeah, what's the problem? How's she the problem? Really? How do you not see this? Oh, yeah, I almost went there.
We've been ring shopping, yeah.
When?
About 3 months ago.
3 months ago.
She went ring shopping with him. She allowed him to take her ring shopping.
This ain't the guy that like really just like sparks like
2 years.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel like someone I want to be with forever. So that
2 years. Let him take her ring shopping. Obviously, if you think he's not done something for her and her children, you'd be foolish. Now, who would say this woman, I'm beautiful, I'm a great mother, great career? Does she sound like the kind of person you'd want to deal with? Who would like to be the man who doesn't know she was on this podcast or this show? Who would like to be the guy she's texting, hey, big head, hey, good morning? Who would like to be that cluck, that simp, that lick that she's playing? But see, we have no problem when women do it to men. Oh, but over here we call it out. Because you can't make women perpetual victims for choices they make. But you're asking what the problem is?
that's
So
more
I
on
go
my
back to
part.
the
That's
first
on my
thing I
part.
asked you. Are you telling me you are seeing someone and the man who's actively considering you is the man you want to be with? And you said, I've got
No.
options. And you just went through this convoluted way of getting back down to, I got
This is hard
somebody
to
in the,
explain my love life.
well, no, ma'am. What it is it's hard for you to deal with the truth. What it is one, you don't have a man that you want considering you to be his wife. You got
Hard to explain her love life. No, it's really not. I'm going to explain it really easily. You're not the shit. You still think you are, but you're not. And you have yet to reconcile that and come to reality. You're still walking around here thinking you're the shit.
a man that you don't want who sounds like he would take you, but you don't want to marry him. That's why it's been 2 years. This is why you're on here trying to figure it out. And I'm only trying to help you, but it seems like you'd rather argue or be right than listen.
No, I'm not trying to argue.
Okay, well then I need you to understand that your children are a massive impediment. How about this? Would you like to have additional children?
I would.
How many?
Oh, maybe 2? 1 to 2.
So let's say you and I were to get married, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What you automatically set up is you get pregnant on our wedding night and you give birth to Kevin Jr. Then a year after that, you give birth to Kim. Kevin and Kim are my biological children with you, right?
Okay.
Then I still have to take care of your 2 other children, right?
So we have 4.
4 kids in the house.
Yeah.
Kevin and Kim are mine.
Mm-hmm.
If I decide to spank Kevin, you can't say shit to me because he's mine biologically. You can't tell me listen. Okay, you're going to sit there and zip your mouth and let me get through the example before you say something. Can you do that? Give me a minute. Kevin and Kim are mine. They're my financial responsibility, and you cannot pull the mommy card on me because biologically you can't one up me. You can't play the high joker. You can't say those aren't. But when it comes to your children, they're your children. I've got to discipline them in line with what you think is right. So I got two sets of kids in the house under two sets of rules. That's madness. I've seen it. Men don't want that, man. Can you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with having children already. Because you would have two kids by me, two kids over here. But yet, if they want to go to college, I'm still supposed to pay for it. If your children want to go to college, I got to put a roof over their head, food in their bellies, and provide for them just like I was providing for Kevin and Kim. Except
This is ultimately the problem with being a woman with children. I have been a stepfather. I know of what I speak. And if you look, ladies, if you honestly think that men don't realize, especially in today's world, with access to all the information we have, that this is what's likely going to meet them as a potential step parent, you're kidding yourself. Women with children should be, in my personal opinion, should be doing far more effort on increasing and improving and overcoming the liability or deficit that they bring to the table, which is children. But the thing is, we're not supposed to say that. We're not supposed to say that because but the reality is, it is still there. Go to the Asian community. You're not seeing a bunch of baby mamas getting married. That's why they don't have a lot of them. We have normalized this. But now the pendulum is swinging back the other way. And you're starting to see pretty baby mamas still out here trying to figure out what's wrong with men, is that men are the problem.
Kevin and Kim, let's say you and I divorced.
Oh yeah, by the way, uh, you can leave my channel too, ma'am. Enough.
Kevin and Kim are mine. I still got visitation. Do I necessarily have anything with those kids? If you decide not to let me see my stepkids, you could cut that bond. You ladies never think of it from a man's side. It's all what you want. And like you said, you want a man to not be into all this superficial stuff and which means you really don't give a damn what we think.
And that's another problem. Women tend to think about it from what they want, their side. They don't really care to think what men want or from our side. But it's not getting them the outcomes they want. So, like what I say, how I say it, like my methods, dislike my methods, it doesn't matter. The outcome. And I try my best to actually bring her up to speed with what's going on in the real world. But we'll see.
We're just supposed to come in and do what you need. That's fine, but you better be offering a hell of a deal. And I've yet to hear that.
Only because of the kids.
Well, the kids are big, ma'am. They are big. I mean, and here's the thing, you do have the option because you say only cause of the kids, but that's a big deal.
Would you date so you dating a woman with children is like off the table for you?
I married a woman with a child, ma'am. I understand what I'm talking about. I'm just doing. No, I would not date a woman with a child. No, I would not.
Gotcha.
I've been there. And the thing is, where's the children's father?
Oh, I left him.
Where is he alive?
Yeah.
Is he involved in the children's life at all?
Yeah.
Then if you really are serious, give custody to the father. Go off with your new husband and make a new.
Natasha Graham asks, why would you spank a child that is not yours? Seems like a mental issue to me. I want you guys to let that marinate. Everybody stop what you're doing and look at Natasha. Shout out to O'Shea. I'm going to use something. Don't say nothing to her. Just look at Natasha. Everybody look at Natasha Graham, who asks, why would you spank a child that is not yours? Seems like a mental issue to me. Again, she pulls something straight out of the black woman's playbook. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. The insult, the guilt. See, if you want to exert control in your household as a step parent, women like Natasha want there's something mentally to be wrong with you. So Natasha can go out and make a child with somebody else and bring him into your household as your wife and your stepchild. But if you want to discipline your child, her child, your stepchild, as you would discipline any other child, you have to have a mental issue. This is what is this happens far too often with women in our community. Ma'am, seek help. You sound zip damn crazy. And the thing is, men aren't taking this anymore. You're going to have to come up with a new playbook. This color purpling, waiting to exhale shit, this not the same stuff is not working anymore. Your tactics or tricks are old and played out. Do better. Just say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about and I don't understand what's going on. Other than trying to infer that you know what's going on. You sound like you have a mental issue. Why are you here? Matter of fact, when she comes back off timeout, moderators, everybody lock and load on her. Everybody lock and load on her. She says one more thing out of line, time her out. Because I've seen her name pop up in here before. And I'm tired of you women who don't seem to like to play. Don't, you want to hate watch me, but don't talk.
Family. See,
I couldn't do that.
Well, then guess what? Buy a dog and wait till they're out of the house, man, because is he involved in the children's life at all?
Yeah.
Then if you really are serious, give custody to the father. Go off with your new husband and make a new family. See,
I couldn't do that.
Well,
again, what's wrong with that? If you really the women, you want to make children with another man? Fine. Then if you get married, send the children with the father. And you make a new family. Oh, I couldn't do that. So you want it all. And you've been told you can have it all, and you can't. Because that man would have influence in your new husband's house. That won't work. And because women like Natasha, why'd you want to put your hands on? Because you cannot have children that you are responsible for that you cannot discipline. Again, you sound zip damn crazy.
And guess what? Buy a dog and wait till they're out of the house, man, because I've talked about women like you all the time. You're not willing to give anything up. I asked you about discipline. They don't need this. They don't need that. Give up custody. Can't do that. Ma'am, you're not fit. I mean, no disrespect, ma'am, but you're not really fit to be with somebody. You want someone to fit into your particular jagged life. And why would a man who has options choose that? Just because you're attractive?
And yes, I believe we need to start telling more women that you are not fit to be with somebody, because we don't have any problems telling men you ain't ready. Saying you're not fit is another way of saying you're not ready. Your money ain't ready. Your mindset ain't ready. You don't want to be a provider, protector. You don't want to pay $100. You're not fit. You cannot take. We tell men that all the time. What do we think, that telling women that they're fit just because they're female? Because they want to get married? Show me that they're fit. Show me that the women who say they want something are fit for it. Because we have no problem evaluating and ranking men. And it's time to start telling women the same thing. Because the results are showing what the truth is already telling us.
I mean, you're attractive, but in LA, that's a dime a dozen. I mean, you'd have to understand that, though.
I do know that, but I think I'm more valuable than just the way I look.
What?
I said I'm definitely more valuable than just my looks.
Granted. I'm never saying that you're not.
Like, I'm from the Midwest. I'm a good Midwestern girl. I'm not a LA girl, so I'm not.
She's from the Midwest. She's a good Midwestern girl. That's what remember this. Oh, you cannot make this shit up. Let's do that again.
I get attractive, but in LA, that's a dime a dozen. I mean, you'd have to understand that, though.
I do know that, but I think I'm more valuable than just the way I look.
What?
I said I'm definitely more valuable than just my looks.
Granted. I'm never saying that you're not.
Like, I'm from the Midwest. I'm a good Midwestern girl. I'm not a LA girl, so I'm not.
She's more valuable than her look. She's from the Midwest. She's a good Midwestern girl. She's not like one of these LA women. Remember that.
Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma, ma'am. I'm from the Midwest too. But what I'm saying is, okay, let's try it this way.
I know. I hear you.
What would the kind of man that you want? What would he want from a woman? From a wife.
From a wife? Mm-hmm. He would. I think what I value, like, just at the end of the day, is just like pure connection. Like, do I?
Notice how I asked her what he would want, and she is so self-absorbed that she couldn't even put herself in the position to ask what he would want. She said, what would he want? Well, at the end of the day, he would want what I want. Pretty privileged, self-absorbed, entitled, think the world is about them. Oh, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. She honestly said that a man who's had to get out here and make something of himself automatically would have, the only thing he would want is what the French toast she wants. Just connection. Connection. Just connection. It's just connection. What? Connection? All he would want is just what I want, you know? And what did I tell the young lady the other day? You want to be with somebody for a lifetime, the most important decision? And y'all are just down with it. You just think it's supposed to happen. You put no thought into this. And yet you want a man to commit to you and take on 2 kids on some connection.
Like, love. It's just love. There's nothing else.
Just like love. Just love.
Do I want this person? Do I look up to this person?
You had that
do
before,
I feel like
right?
This person is a good person? Do we share the same values?
You had that before, right?
The same morals? Like, is there laughter, before, right? Joy, excitement in our relationship?
What does he want from a wife, ma'am? And you gave me.
Oh, what does he want from, like, just a wife? Like, maybe just a good housewife, a woman that cooks for him.
Okay, ma'am. So let me ask you a question.
So I want you to understand how much these.
I'm a PhD.
What kind of thought they put in. I just asked, what would he want? And you know what the answer was? I have no idea. All I know is what the French toast I want. That's how absorbed I am. I want you to take care of me and my kids because I'm pretty. And pretty has got me this far in life, and it should keep on getting me through. She still thinks she's the ish. Has not sat down and learned anything. 2 kids and situation. Children don't tend to teach pretty baby mamas nothing because they still get people trying to take them out to dinner, trying to flute them out, trying to everything else, but they're not getting wived. They're not getting wifed by men of value. Valuable men, productive, competitive, successful men. All you are is a fun girl, but just because somebody will still deal with you, hit it, you still have not, again, you cannot make this shit up. Oh, we're almost there. Give me another 5 minutes.
Question. Were your mother and father married?
No.
All right. Then you were not raised to be a housewife.
No, I don't think I was. Definitely was not raised to be no housewife.
So he would want a housewife, but she laughs and said, I definitely was not raised to be no housewife. But she's smart, though.
I'm a PhD.
But that seems to go, pew, because that's what she said he would want, right? And she wasn't raised to be that thing, so I guess you could just decide to do that. That's for
sure. But
Listen,
can't give up on
listen,
that hope and that dream.
I cannot give up on that hope and that dream. Again, it's a hope and dream for who? You. Sounds like a nightmare for another man. Sounds like a nightmare for your possible husband. Cannot discipline his stepchildren. You ain't gonna discipline the stepchildren. A woman that wasn't raised to be a housewife. A woman who obviously put little thought into a man. A woman who's stringing a man on for 2 years. Let's not forget about the dude she's stringing on for 2 years and allowing him to take her ring shopping. Let's not forget that. There's a man out there that she's been saying she's been seriously dealing with for 2 years, and they went ring shopping 3 months ago. That means she went with him. But yet on this podcast, she's saying, I'm just not. Yeah, guys, do not be afraid to ask these women anything, especially don't be bad. That's why you don't treat pretty women any differently. Far too many of you guys look at a woman who's pretty and you start ascribing behaviors to her. No, you better treat her like Big Burly Shirley and ask the questions that need to be asked, because pretty privilege, especially pretty baby mamas, will get you done in, because honestly, far too many of them still walk through life thinking they are the shit.
Look,
find the right person.
if you, I'm gonna slap the smack out of you. I'll let you go, man, but you cannot overtalk me. I try to be nice, man, but you're not going to do that. Look, you weren't raised to be a housewife. And you just said the kind of man that you would want, what he would want is a good housewife. Then he wouldn't want you because you're not one. By your own admission, you're not one.
I wasn't raised to be one.
Which means you're not one.
But I had great influences.
Then if you had such great influences, why someone met... What you just witnessed was pretty privilege. She's used to getting by on her above average looks, but she's got below average outcomes. And no matter how I tried to talk to her, she's going to sit there and stamp her feet because she was going to get her way. I'm not trying.
It's not hard to fool me.
Shout out to Fawcett Media for the great thing at the end. All right, why is all this making a point? Why is all this making a point? Well, I'm glad you asked. Glad you asked, because I never do anything on without a reason. This happens far too often with women who are pretty baby mamas, entitled, self-absorbed, deluded, thinking that they can still go out into the world and act as if they are still the hot little thing they were, with no one, just because they have gotten the gym, lost the weight. They look in the mirror and they see themselves the way they used to be, but the world sees that you have 1-2 people come out of your body and all of those experiences that came along with it. Those are city miles. Those aren't highway miles. All right, so I'm about to open the call line, but you know what? This story has an interesting ending. In the comments section, and when that show happened, I actually pulled that interview out and I posted it as a video, and it's got over 150,000 views. Lots of comments. And many people, there have been several people who've talked about the video, but some of the people have made comments. You were too mean, you were this, you were that, you didn't give her a chance, I think you misread her, and I'm like, I just went off what she said, but I'm a firm believer in let someone talk long enough and they will tell you who they are. Let's see. So, like I said, when I go into a new town, I set all my dating apps. Oh, looky there. Looky there. Guess who popped up in my dating app? Yup. That's right. So, I liked the picture and I said, what a small world we have indeed. And her response was, that it is. Oh. Next question. Where are the kids? I sold them. Now, response was, what would you like from me? Because she initiated a chat. I liked the picture. Said it was a small world we have indeed. Part of me was not quite sure that was her. I looked at her. I was like, maybe that's her. Maybe it's not. So I'll just see what's going on. Dear, I can't make this shit up. I can't make it up. Make it up. I cannot make this up. What would you like from me? I have no agenda, to be honest. Wasn't very familiar with you before I went live. Cool. I definitely sat on the wrong table, unprepared. Fine. Again, I'm a reasonable person. Try to make reasonable inferences. I was doing my best to try to inform a caller of what she was asking and give her the best advice possible. But I'm always curious as to, once you have a chance to look at yourself, once you have a chance to sit back and see how the interaction played between both of us, how other people perceived it, I go back and look at some of my work and say, you know what? Maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I could have did this better. I'm hard on myself because I'm always like, you know what? I want to be, if someone calls me, I want to be able to give them the best, most accurate thing that I can tell you. I'm a perfectionist that way. And oftentimes I run into people who I've talked to before. Actually, people I've actually had hard interactions with have become, actually, I wouldn't call them friends, but, colleagues and associates. All right. And the thing is, you should be able to have a conversation as you move on and not have a problem. If you're dealing with somebody who's balanced. Big curiosity. All right. What's your, what did I get? I mixed the next point. Definitely, here we go. Definitely sat on the wrong end of the table. Unprepared. All right. Next. What is your agenda in sending me a like? Oh, there's no way to say hello. So a like is all you have on these apps. Now, remember when I said earlier? Pay attention. I just said one word, guess. Why did I say guess? Because I wanted to see if what I said was on point. Was I too harsh? Did I misread the situation? And the response is, you'll see it right here. Guess. You must do this often. You couldn't possibly think I'd let you blow my back out. Gross. You're 51. The only thing I'd let you do is take me shopping and feed me, and maybe eat my pussy if you beg. So, remember I'm a good person, a good Midwestern girl, all this other kind of stuff. Now, I don't know where you kind of get. You can't make this shit up, people. That's the response. That's the response. And my response is, well, just like our conversation, you still proved you're sadly deluded, self-absorbed, and entitled. Everything I said about you was spot on, and I really hope you seek the help you need. As I said, men are not your issue. Thank you. Dear heart, you need to check yourself. And women like you really need pretty privilege when it meets baby mamaism. The world is difficult enough without you walking around thinking that everyone wants you. You can't make this shit up. Oh, I forgot one thing too. Let me go ahead and put this down there. 30-year-old, 5'6", and she classifies herself as a thug. What is it? You're spiritual and you like thugs, or you classify yourself as a thug. So there you go. I come to LA, and just like when I went to New York or anywhere I go, when I came to Atlanta, you followed me for the longest. You know that I set my apps, and I do the same thing. But you honestly can take a lesson from what I just showed you. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. The problem is not men, especially for a lot of you pretty, above average looking, single baby mamas. Your issues with men, you heap them on everybody else and assume that they are the problem. No, man, we're not. You are. And women like you are. So this was a long broadcast. But you just can't make it up. Now, if a person was as good and wholesome as you say you are, hey, it was a good back and forth. I didn't like what you said. But to think that, I mean, you're honestly, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. She completely, so she's saying, yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said. She said, what is your agenda? I wasn't even quite sure that was you. Really saying, hey, how you doing? You want to see it again? What's your agenda? Let's make it up again. Small world. That it is. Where are the kids? I sold them. Because the kids were a part of the conversation. What would you like from me? I have no agenda. To be honest, I was very unfamiliar with you before you went live. Now, but ladies, definitely sat at the wrong end of the table unprepared. That's fair. Ladies, every time a man reaches out to you, just because you've had bad experiences with other men, stop assuming that everybody wants you. I want to move it away from her because I don't want to make this personal about her at this point. But sadly, a lot of attractive women, especially women who've had bad interactions with men, tend not to go get the work done. And you want to paint all men in the box of being bad when you really need to handle the issues that are going on in your own head. Because all I said was guess to this woman. And then she showed what she thought of men and men in general. Again, go back to the beginning of the show. The problem is all these men who just want a pretty woman on their arm and that's it. You can't make it up. So it didn't matter that I sat there and talked to you, tried to give you good advice, give you good information. All men ain't crap. And ultimately, guys, avoid women like this. Don't fall for the pretty when it's attached to damage. Don't be afraid to ask questions that you know need to be answered. Again, you can't make this shit up. For the record, now, if I wanted to, that's why I cut your pictures back and everything else. You must do this often. Do what? Say hello to somebody on a dating app? I mean, ladies, did I ask her anything other than, hi? You couldn't possibly let me think I let you blow my back out. I really don't want to be insulting, but you're attractive. But dear, it's LA. Like I said on the call, beauty's not that hard to come by. It's really not. And if you honestly think that that's the way a woman should respond to a man who didn't ask you anything, you need more help than I. That obviously our conversation didn't help you, but I do hope you seek some help, and I hope women like you. If you see any of this in yourself, ladies, understand something. You can't keep heaping your issues on men. You can't keep making us all responsible for your shortcomings, for your outcomes. And far too long, we've done that. We've absolved women for their responsibility, their accountability, and how they've gotten to where they are, and said, "Oh, she's the victim." You're not a victim. So, the fact that she says something like that, barely knowing someone, shows how crass she is. Oh, dude, the spiritual thug thing took me. Yeah. So, yeah, 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 yeah. That I said you can't make this shit up. Not make it up. Wow. Um, you just can't make it up. All right, so let's open the call lines. I got about 30 minutes. This ought to be interesting. Hey, if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in too. So all men are the problem, not you. We're not women like you. It's us. It's just us, not you. Woo. Ladies, now maybe you can understand what some of your brothers and your cousins and your nephews are dealing with.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción, yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunático.
There you go. Thank you guys for hanging in there. It was a long presentation, but the payoff was a good one. Again, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Wow, you can't make that up. You just can't make that up. Part of the problem in modern relationships is we have unbalance. We have men out here being told to increase and improve, get better, protect, provide, all these things, and we're not telling women that they need to do anything other than exist. Matter of fact, we have gotten to the point to where we're telling women that you can show up in any way. You can show up a dress size 20.
I'm a PhD.
You can show up with a man's kids. And we're all supposed to just accept it. And it's not working. It's not working. It's not working, and it won't work because men actually they would rather be by themselves than deal with some of this foolishness and effery that is going on today in modern dating situations. And what are you ladies prepared to do about it? What are you prepared to do about it other than blame men? Because that won't work. You cannot continue to blame men. It's the men's fault. Oh, yeah. So here's how this is going to work. Here's how this is going to work. You're going to have to make sure you have your microphone on, YouTube off in the background, and talking to me. Oh, Napa Auto Parts. So what's going on? I'm well. Well, considering how I've listened to how you and your colleagues have discussed me, I think that's pretty fair.
I've never been disrespectful, but how are you?
Well, I'm good. I don't know. Well, I said you and your colleagues, you misrepresent you. I personally listen to you misrepresent what I've said. So, but
Well,
anywho,
I
let's keep it.
apologize. I apologize if I misrepresented you. I just, most of the time I just had questions about, the value, the high value man. And I really got those questions answered. I got them answered. I did a sit down with Obsidian.
Yeah,
One of my
but due
colleagues.
respect, Obsidian is not me, and I watched the
No,
sit
no,
down. But my point is,
right.
okay, I would not go. I would not go to someone who's pioneered a concept and ask someone who's just familiar with it. Obsidian has as a point of view, it as a friend. But if you
Right.
wanted to speak to me, I've also given you the opportunity to speak to me. I put it this way: um, if you want to have a conversation, you have it with good faith. And the way that I've actually witnessed the conversation being had about the manosphere or guys in the manosphere, I don't listen to other people. I've sat back and watched the interactions, and I've made my own judgment. And that's not what I've seen from you or anyone else on that side. When asked, have you ever watched my content? You said no.
Okay.
You have not watched the show from end to end. So I don't see the value in having a conversation if you can't even be bothered to sit down and watch a broadcast.
Fair enough. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that sentiment with me. And as I said, I'm sorry if you were misrepresented, but here I am now. And so I just want to call in and just actually, extend the olive branch and just pretty much say, yeah, I'm listening now. I have listened. Sometimes I can't listen to the whole stream, they're long, but I
Yes.
did listen to one you had. It was very good. I forget, it was, you did a list of high value women. So here I am now, and I'm ready to speak with you, although very briefly because I can't be on long.
Well,
I'm ready
now
to answer any questions from
here's the
you.
thing. Do you have anything on the topic I covered tonight, though? Because I do have 7 other people in here. So if you want to come,
Definitely.
if you want to come talk to me uh, on a standalone broadcast, but I want to stay on topic with this. So you have anything about anything I covered tonight?
You know what? To be absolutely honest, I did not listen to your broadcast tonight. I saw the notification when I looked into YouTube. And so I said, you know what? Let me
Well,
click
how about
on
then
and
let's do this. Let's correspond via email, and if you want to, Fridays are generally the nights I have just like open. If you have time tomorrow night, that's the question. That's the time I tend to do. Every other Friday, I tend to do disagreement or questions. So tomorrow night will be that.
okay, great. Well, I have your email. So
Okay.
I will just definitely, I just wanted to jump in and
Okay.
show my respects. And
With
so
your
I will,
fine
I
self.
will
Come.
correspond with you.
I was in your part of the world. You're in New York City, right?
I'm actually going to be in New York tomorrow.
You don't live in that area?
No, I don't, but I'll
Okay.
be there. I have
All right,
family.
because I'm actually thinking about moving back up there. Okay, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Pacific, when I'll be going, so 11 East Coast. Thanks for calling in. Let's talk tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. You guys have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Yeah, a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman. Yeah. Ladies, understand something. I'm a reasonable person. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. So let's say, Devon. Hello. Hi, how are you? Hold on. I need you guys in the chat room. You guys be respectful to Nepal. And the reason I've called you Napa because I really don't know how to pronounce your name. So it wasn't to be insulting. It's just because I don't know how to pronounce your name. So be moderators, make sure that they're respectful of her in the comment section, please. Go ahead. What you got for me, Dion?
A quick question. So I was definitely one of those women, I say suffering from pretty girl privilege. And luckily I have gotten myself, I've been dating, and the most compatible man that I'm dating right now has expressed interest in marriage. We've been dating about 4 months. However, because of COVID and because of his line of work, he is I would say high value man, if definitely a Henry, but because of COVID right now, his line of work, he's an entertainer, he's a lead singer in an R&B band. He is unsure when they'll be touring again. So when we have these conversations, he's like, babe, I'll marry you tomorrow, but I need to make sure that I can be able to take care of you and the kids. And, it's a lot when you come with children. So it's like,
Yes.
I'm grateful that I have a, high value man that is willing to take care of me and the children. But I definitely understand his position financially, where he just doesn't know what the future may hold because his line of work is centered around entertaining people. I'm pretty sure we will get back to the point of being able to, go to concerts.
So just to be clear, do you have a question for me, or were you just because I want to be?
Yes.
What's the question you have for me?
So my question is, should I just be patient?
Okay. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
And
I'm 38.
Okay. Well, okay. So I'm assuming you're already employed.
I am, yes.
All right.
I actually own
if
my
you
own
guys
life.
got married today, okay, and they automatically start touring, and jobs are going great, and then if God forbid he was called home to glory, you'd still be able to provide for yourself and the children just fine.
Yes.
Okay. The reason I put it that way is his up and down is nothing that he can directly control. And I'm not a big fan of waiting if you are sure and he is sure, because life can change like that. And we spend so much time trying to wait for things to become perfect. And we miss the moments in life that are meant to be chronicled with one another. So I definitely get a man wanting to be a provider and be able to do what he put the money where it needs to be, but as it stands right now, you're gonna be working you're working anyway. What is he? What
Right. I think that,
is he working? Is he doing anything?
yes, I mean, luckily he's also very successful real estate investor. So that's what's holding a lot of the passive income,
Well, okay. Are
luckily.
you guys living in the same city?
Yes, we both live in DC.
Do you have an apartment or a home? An
I
apartment
rent
or
an apartment.
okay. And what about him? Same thing or different?
Well, no, he owns his place
All right.
and he owns other properties.
Um, well, if he's serious, I don't see the downside in proceeding.
Right. So I guess my question is, it's not the proceeding, but I think it was one call where you were just like, you have to, I'm not afraid of putting some parameters. I know you say like some women are afraid to put parameters because they know the guy's going to walk. But
Mhm.
I'm definitely unafraid of that. I'm just wondering, is it necessary? Because at this point, this is probably the
Parameters
the
meaning
best
what?
I may get.
Parameters meaning what? Per-
Meaning like we should be, thinking about getting, married by this day, and he wants to have more children. I would give him as many children as he wants,
well, I
but
mean, so
I'm
is there?
38.
Okay, but does he? If he wants to marry you and he's serious, you sound like you're open to it. So let him know. I don't see what the holdup is on his side if he's serious about marrying you.
I think it's I can tell you it's purely financial. He just wants to be able to make sure he can carry you know,
Well,
the
well,
lifestyle.
I get it, but again, life happens.
Right.
If you want to be with him, make it clear to him that look, I appreciate you want to be able to do that, but I'd rather be with you because I'm working anyway. I mean, I'm just not really. There's too many things that are spinning right now. That's why I have this little thing spinning over here. You
I
can't
know.
predict everything. So um, more often than not, men want to know that you're gonna be there through the up and the down more than anything else. That's more than anything else. So I don't know if you've had the conversation with him to say, you know what, I would hope you could make millions, but if you were making enough to take care of yourself, I'm good with it. We can eat peanut butter jelly and you know what I mean. I just
Right.
don't
I
see the
got it.
downside. Get on with the living. You either get busy with living or get busy with dying. And staying by yourself, especially if you got somebody who you're serious with, he's serious with you. I don't really see the problem with that. I appreciate you calling in, man. Invite
Okay,
me to the
thank
wedding.
you.
Bye bye. Yeah, I mean, we can't have it perfect. I get we want perfect, but we don't get perfect. We get it. We get close enough. All right. So, Ivory. Hello. Yes, your first name. What do you got for me?
on how else I can grow to be more of a blessing to my future husband as a single mom.
Okay. All right.
Um,
To your future husband.
yes,
Are you seeing anyone seriously now?
no,
Hmm. How many children do you have?
one.
Age and gender.
He is 4.
Where's the father?
He abandoned us whenever I was still pregnant. He's in the picture now, and we split custody around 60-40. I'm the primary.
Okay. Is this through the court system, or you guys just have an arrangement?
Courts, yes.
All right. So, future men ultimately, in order to be a stepfather, is a precarious thing. It really is because I've been there. Do you? Well, one, do you ever want to have any additional children?
I'm impartial. If I am married to somebody and he wants that, I believe in submission and I will give my husband children, but I don't particularly care if I have more.
And how old are you,
Especially,
by the way?
I'm 29.
Okay. Um, Understanding how the child gets sorted out. That's really the biggest thing. The biggest issue when it comes to dealing with a woman with children is discipline of the child. Provision, obviously, but discipline. And if you if you've never really had to co-parent with anybody, your word has been law.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as a man who's been a stepfather, that child will quickly children test, and they will quickly understand where the lines are drawn. Would the man you marry be able to parent your child as if he were the biological father?
I would hope so. And that
Well,
is next
and
question.
go ahead.
Can I
Go ahead.
ask?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
My next question is, at what point would it be appropriate to introduce a man into my child's life? Because I'm not going to just bring anybody that I'm interested in into my child's life. And I've heard about setting boundaries of if you're engaged, that would be the appropriate time. And I am very adamant on teaching my child to be
Well,
respectful and
okay. So in general, I mean, yeah, you don't need to be bringing them around people you're dating. But here's the thing. I think engagement is a nice milestone, but it's not very realistic because there's going to be a lot that happens before that. The question ultimately comes down to, um, where's your husband going to fit? Because, ma'am, your child comes first. How do you navigate putting a man first?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking
Meaning,
because my view
meaning, your child is your number one priority right now.
right now, yes.
If you were to meet a man, especially a man of a valuable man, a man, I mean, he is going to have to become number one. That means your child is going to have to become number two.
Within the marriage, I believe so.
No,
And
no. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. A man would have to marry you and hope that would happen, and that's unrealistic. See, you're gonna have to resolve how to make. This is why it's so difficult dating and seriously dating a single mother. Your child is your number one priority, as it should be. But the way the world is supposed to be set up is you're supposed to be married to the father of your child, so you don't have to deal with these things.
yes.
What you're ultimately asking a man to do is marry me, then trust me that I will do what it is you say because I say I'm submissive. And I'm sorry, that's just the bet that no smart man should take. Not today. We have too many cases of women flipping the script on men, and it's just unreasonable. This is why I often tell women, if you're serious, give custody. Do you have a son or a daughter?
A son.
At 7 years old, he should be with his daddy anyway. You see, that's more. That's why I say give custody to the father. If you're
Even
serious about,
even if the father is not masculine.
I don't see again. I can't. No, you picked him.
Hmm.
You picked him, and y'all got 60-40 anyway. See, what I'm hearing, ma'am, is control issues, which is fair. But you've never had to negotiate, do anything with anybody else. You are the queen, and the word stops with you. This is why single mothers are for fun and not for long term. Because let's say you were dating a man like myself. I'm not going to marry you and then let you tell me that you got to pay all the bills as if this is your biological child, and then I got to trust that you're going to do things my way. No, you got to demonstrate that to me before I'm going to make a lifelong commitment to you. That's why I say you single mothers really got to understand what you're asking from men. That's what that whole video was about. That woman did not understand what she's asking. Lastly, you're saying that you are indifferent to children. Then marrying you, the man possibly gets no kids, and a lot of liability, and a non-masculine baby daddy in the picture, and a boy to raise. Man, that doesn't sound very appealing. I hate to break it, have to be that direct, but that's just doesn't sound very appealing. But all the best.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Yeah, ladies, understand something. When you choose to make a child, it's a big freaking deal. And we have minimized it and made it no big deal because you can have a job and take care of your kid. That's fine. But interacting with a man, a completely different set of circumstances. Um, Tyra, Tiara, hello. Unmute yourself. Hello, hello. Yes, first name. What do you got for me? Well, before we do that, how old are you? Okay, and why should I have you come on and speak to the younger women? You haven't told me why that doesn't make any sense to me. You want to come in? I'm preaching, and you're gonna come in and say, "By the way, I need to talk to the people over here." How do I know you even worth talking to? What you want to tell them? Okay, go ahead. Okay, okay, there always are. Wait a minute, hold on. You're saying things. Okay, you start talking about high value men and cautioning women. Ma'am, have you ever been married to the father of your child? All right. Is he still in the child's life? Okay. So high value. Are you currently seeing someone seriously? So why are you talking about high value men? Why do you think that is? Right. And what are you calling a man a high value? Just his income? No, no. I'm very specific about on my channel. I'm very specific about what I call high value. And what you ladies tend to do is you call high value things that aren't high value. But a high value man is a man who makes over six figures for at least 5 years in a row. Is acknowledged by other high value men as being one of their peers. Has a network of high value men and other people. Has a career or a profession or something that's LinkedIn level. People understand what it is at a glance, and is useful to others and the group. So that's a lot to be. So if you don't have one, you want a man like this, and why would a man like that, who has most women want men like that, right? Why would they want a woman who's already has a child by someone else? That's why it's hard to get one because they're valuable. And it's unrealistic to think, I'm sorry to say, man, to think that even as a divorcee with a child that you'll land one. Yeah, don't get pregnant. Yeah, don't marry before you carry. That's right. Marry before you carry. But the rest of your life, if you, hey, what's the rest of your life going to look like now that you have a child and you and your husband are divorced? The next part. But I would say take high value out of the entire equation because high value is a very small segment of men. But there are plenty of productive, competitive, successful men. But you got to ask one question: what are you bringing to the table that the kind of man that you would want? What does he want? And that's one thing that you ladies tend to not really answer. Okay, thank you. All right, yeah, ladies, you're gonna have to ask yourself a simple question. Um, yeah, they couldn't hear the audio. It was. Don't worry about it. Um, Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hold on, Tiara, just a second. Hold on. Tiara, I'll just mute you. All right. So to the people who said you couldn't hear, basically she wanted to caution young ladies to marry before you carry. Um, there's not a lot to that one because, you know, I'll go over it later. There's not a lot to that call. She was just trying to give some advice that she really wasn't ready to give. Hello. Yes. First name. Uh, hold on. I'll be nice to you if you be nice to me. That's all I just you want to go by Lewis. Okay. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening.
That's yeah, you coming into a place that's what do you have for me, Lewis?
Well, I have a question and then I wanted to make a statement. My question is, why are you giving women, why are you shaming women who
Lewis, what you're not going to do is what you just attempted to do. I said it at first and I'll say it again. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. But if all you can use is shaming language and these kind of things, I'll bid you a good night. You either have a conversation like a reasonable adult or you go elsewhere. Now, you can unmute yourself and attempt to do this one more again. I do not accept you coming in here saying shaming this. No, ma'am. Nope. No, ma'am. So what you're going to do is you're going to be respectful of what. Look, man, I'm having to raise my voice. I have pleasant conversation with everybody else, and because you may be what in your feelings a little upset, I'm not shaming anything. There are 5,000 people who watched it. So what is your issue? Well, thank you.
it makes me feel like that it's making women feel shameful that they had kids by a man and that wasn't their plan for life. Like that's not their life.
Excuse me. Excuse me. So see, hold on. This is how old are you?
I'm 30.
No child gets born that a woman did not want to bring to this world.
Mm-hmm.
So, true. So to say that I'm making them feel shameful for a choice they made, no. You choose to be a parent that has consequences.
I don't think choosing to be a parent is a negative thing. And
I never said it was a negative thing. I just said it has consequences.
I think with everything in life has consequences.
But choosing to be a parent, okay. But see, what you came on here trying to do is you telling women and having a child that they didn't plan or the life didn't work is shameful. Ma'am, life is about
No, you
choices.
didn't let me finish.
Well,
you didn't let me finish.
Well, because
I was
first,
that
you're not going to talk over me. When you come in here telling me that it's shameful what I'm doing, you can say what you have to say. You have 20 seconds, but be respectful.
I'm not saying that what you're saying is shameful. I'm saying it will make a woman feel shameful that you're saying that because they have a kid, there's no future in that for them. They can't find it. They're not going to be able to be married or get a husband or anything.
Oh, that's not what I said. But I mean, but let me make it real clear. We do need to bring shame back because
Oh
you
yes,
ladies. Well, because here's the thing. I
I
talk
agree.
about a certain caliber of man, and these men don't want children from another man. Ma'am, do you not think? Okay, do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
You have a son.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you. So your son makes something of himself. He becomes an attorney, a well-regarded attorney, 35 years old. You want him? You think that he should bring home a woman with 3 kids by 2 different dudes? Or
I
she go
think
out?
he should bring home a woman
No,
who
no,
he
no, no,
loves.
no. See, you didn't answer. No, 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 no. See,
Yes,
see,
I
no,
think
no,
I'm
no. See,
answering.
no, 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 no. I didn't even get the fucking question out of my mouth before you decide. See, you know what? I'll let you go ahead. You think he should do what?
I think he should bring home whoever he please, whoever he's happy with.
Right,
Just because a woman
right.
doesn't have a kid doesn't mean that you're going to be happy with her.
Ma'am, where's your husband?
I've turned down 2 proposals because,
Okay,
oh
okay.
my
How many
God, I don't even
children do
want to
you
go there.
have? How many children do you have?
I have 1 child.
Okay, why are you so upset that I'm telling the reality that men want? Men don't want women who have children by other men, especially
I disagree
productive,
because a lot of
competitive,
men want me.
excuse me, especially productive, competitive, successful men. Higher value men choose overwhelmingly to start their own families. See, what you have a problem with, man, is men finally saying what men have always thought. If you don't want the downsides or consequences that come along with being a single mother, get married before you have a baby.
I appreciate the truth and the honesty.
Then what's the
Another thing,
problem?
my
Then what's the
I
what?
have
I
one
mean,
more question.
but what's the problem with saying?
I just
Get,
don't feel like
what's the
that's
feelings, man? What's the
but
problem with tell? You
that's not
cannot
true
overtalk
because
me.
my mom have
You cannot overtalk me. You cannot do that. Calm down and just respond. You can unmute yourself, but you can't overtalk me. See, this is another reason dealing with women with children. You get overly emotional because your children are important to you, but they're important to you, not us. You can unmute yourself.
wow, that is not true. You're
You can
one-sided.
excuse me. No, no. Your children are important to you. They're not important to us. It's like my child is
A
important to
high
me.
value man.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm
Your child is important to you. It's not important to us. And
so
here's the real question:
who is
why
us? Who is us?
other men out here, the
You
public, not
you
not the men?
consider yourself a high
Excuse me,
value
man.
man,
No,
right?
this ain't about me, ma'am. Why didn't you? Why are you and your? Why didn't you marry the man you chose to have a child with?
He wasn't good enough for me.
Well, then that's your okay. So what I need you to understand on the open dating market. You come into the open dating market with a baby from a man you say wasn't good enough for you. To us, to men like myself, to men with good sense, that would says she is a poor judge of character because she gave a man the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet, a child. And then she gave a man who wasn't good enough for her a baby. Sorry, ma'am. Don't get upset because
I agree
your
with
child.
that.
But if you agree with it, then understand
I agree with
there's a
that part,
reason.
but I also want to say that I'm allowed to make poor judgments in my
Yes, but
life because
well, yeah,
I am
you
growing as
are,
a
but you
person.
are. Stop. No, yeah, you are, but we don't have. But
I'm growing as
understand
a
something. Listen,
person, so
listen,
I'm going
listen, listen, listen. You are, but the world does not owe you understanding. You're allowed to make. You're allowed to make
they
poor judgment.
don't. But
But
guess
guess
what?
what? We are
The
going to
world
judge,
does it too.
ma'am.
We all do
If
it.
you don't sit
It's
your
called
emotional
growth.
self down, lady, I'm sorry that the world is not
It's
going to
called growth.
continue. The world ain't going to continue to. First of all, your child is your least of your problems. And this is the kind of bullshit that goes on too often with women, black women in particular. Think because you can get your ass up here and be emotional and talk loud, it's going to overcome the fact that you made a baby with a dude that you say ain't good enough. That's your problem. The world does not owe you understanding. And you sound like you need a whole lot of damn therapy because you're far too angry about some shit you chose to do. You can't make this shit up, people. Angry ass. I'm entitled to make mistakes. No, no. You can make them, but no one has to live with them with you. That's why you're by your. I've turned down proposals, not by a man worth anything. See, what it does is that you ladies have been told that having a child is no big deal. And the reality is, it's a really big deal. You are relegated to getting men who ain't worth a damn and ain't worth shit. Go ahead, Amberlynn. Yes, I can. No problem. Your first name? Your first name? What do you got for me, Amber?
Yeah, so Miss Louise, whatever her name is, she reminded me, like, she brought up a question I always wonder. So women who already have children, are you saying there's no potential for her to find a good man?
No.
Or if so,
No,
like,
no, I'm not.
which man?
No, I'm not. No, I am not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is women who have children need to understand that those children are a liability to us men. And judging a woman like you versus another one, a woman with no children, you are not equal to us. You're going to have to do more to compensate for the fact that you're bringing another whole human being to me to provide for, and all the stuff that comes along with it. Let me give you an example, Amber. How old are you?
I'm 24.
In the animal in the animal kingdom, if a new alpha male or a new male takes over an existing pride or an existing group of females, what does he do to the children, the cubs? What do they do to them?
So wouldn't he just take over that family? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What is the if a male lion takes over a pride of female lions and they have cubs? What does the new male lion do to the kid, the cubs from other male lions? What does he do to those cubs?
Based off the topic, it seems like he won't even care
They
about
kill
the
him,
cub.
Amber. They kill him.
Okay.
See, this is why we don't seem to understand. It is not in a man's nature to. It goes against our biological imperative to protect, provide for other men's kids. All throughout the animal kingdom, men kill children from other men. And guess what the lionesses do? Sit their ass there and take it. And then make new kids with the new lion. This is something that we used to understand. But in the last 50 years, we've told women, don't matter, girl. You got a job. You can provide. You can take care of, but you cannot. You cannot be everything to a child. You need two parents to be balanced. And if you have a child, it's not a death sentence, but you better understand something. It is going to be far more difficult to date a man, especially the higher up you go. The more you want that man to be productive, competitive, successful, the higher value, the better man he is, the more you're going to have to compensate because the competition is stiff. You're competing with the women around him. Does that make sense?
Okay, so it does. So if a woman already have children, so what type of man is her only option? Like what type of man is left for her?
There is nothing that's 100%. But here's the thing. You have a child?
I do not.
All right. Why is this important to you?
Because I just felt like she was very emotional, and I can understand why she was.
But why was she emotional? She was emotional because she's emotional because she knows, whether she can communicate it or not, that life is harder as a single mother trying to date, especially the higher up man you go, because that's just the world. She's emotional because she's angry. She's angry at the reality of the world. And it's not the world's problem. She lives in the world that I live in. See, you're only angry when you're trying to get an outcome that you can't get. And you think the game is rigged. It's not fair. No. You're supposed to be married to the man who you make children with. That's what's supposed to happen. And if you choose not to do that, you deal with all the outcomes. Did you hear that she said, I made a baby with a man who wasn't good enough?
Yes.
Who the fuck wants to be with a woman who had a baby with a man who ain't good enough?
I agree. But I just felt like she just felt like, from some reason, she felt like she should be ashamed for having a child by someone
Well,
she's
I'm
not
sorry.
with.
Well, yeah, you should. You should. My personal opinion, you should, because you didn't have to. We need to get to the point to where we have taken shame and guilt away from the black community, and look at what it's gotten us. This is what you have when you have a woman say, I had a baby by a man who ain't good enough. What, we supposed to just give her a lollipop and say, no problem, ma. Go over there and get one of those productive, competitive, successful men and get him to raise the ain't shit man's kid. Go put that on your brother. Would you want your brother to be with her? And would you want that to be your step nephew?
See, I can't say, because I just felt like things happen in life.
First of all, black women need to stop with this feel shit. Take feeling out of it. It ain't about your feelings. It's about practical choices. Do you have a brother?
I do.
Do you love your brother?
I do.
Then why would you want your brother taking on the responsibility of a woman who had a child with a man she says ain't shit? And the offspring. You must not love him that much if you want him to say, yeah, bro, go take that, versus going to have a woman who has no kids and make your own.
See, he actually has been in that situation before. And it was not like he loved the child.
And where's your daddy?
I'm sorry?
And where's your dad?
He's with my mother. They've been together ever since.
So your brother, and how old is your brother?
He's 34.
So you're telling me your brother decided to get with a woman who had a child by a dude that she said ain't shit?
I mean, I'm not necessarily don't know if she said he's not shit, but the man was not in the child's life. So
the
I guess
ultimate question is that the best choice for your brother?
If he feels like the woman is best for him.
See, again, this is where we get. Then this is the loop that comes with black women. We keep going back to these feelings. Okay. And what it comes down to is such a lack of respect for men. I'm sorry, ma'am. No other race of women would sit around and say, yeah, go ahead and strap on the responsibility and feedback of another man's child and take that on, brother. Other women have more respect for their men than black women. I'm going to leave this in because you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this up.
Okay. And Kevin, I guess like the reason why I was trying to relate in a way is because it's hard when I see my brother and my sister in the same situation, but I myself always said I want to wait.
Your brother and your sister, I don't understand. You have a sister?
Yeah, so I do have
my
sister. She has a child, and her fiance has 2 other children as well, and they're together. And
see,
so
I'm saying, here's the thing, ma'am. Your sister has a child, and her fiance has a child. You know what I hear? Chaos. Yeah. The black community is at the bottom. You know why? Because of all this damn chaos. Because we do shit out of order. What are we supposed to have? You're supposed to get married before you have a kid. You're supposed to stay with each other. But no, we do this shit you're talking about, and then you got a 24-year-old woman right here who has no kids trying to intercede for other people. This is dysfunction. So I'm going to leave this in. This woman has no kids, but she's involved in her brother's feelings and her sister's feelings and a woman she don't know feeling. All of it because it's a bunch of shit. And we got to start calling it chaos. This is not healthy. This is not normal. Not. Appreciate
Okay.
you calling in, young lady.
Well,
Do yourself a favor.
thank you.
Before you make babies,
Mhm.
have a husband.
Oh, that's for sure.
Because
Mhm.
why? Why do you know that for sure?
Because I see it. I see the frustration with
Exactly.
my sister.
Exactly. Thank you. Because you see what it's wrought. And we need more people like you saying, I see this bullshit and it's not a good thing. I can love them, but I don't want to reproduce. I don't want to replicate that. This is the same thing I was asking the previous lady. Would you want your son bringing home this shit? And she couldn't be honest because she was too emotional. She's too close to it. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Have
All right. Don, you want to, or D. Lewis, you want to try to come back in and calm yourself down? Because I'm not going to change what I'm saying. We have made it too simple to say, oh, well, it's too bad. It's not fair. She made a mistake. When do we start saying, okay, what are you going to do about it? Can I mute yourself? Okay.
That's how I am. It's not coming from a bad place or anything.
Okay.
But my frustration comes from not because of my dating life, because I don't date. I've given up on the people in today's world. It's not just the man, it's just the people of today's world. They're so tainted, they're so nasty, and it's just a different world from where I'm old school. I grew up around women who date high quality men. So I'm frustrated for the women out there that are still out there trying to date and find love and have kids. Life isn't one-sided, and I want them to know that there
Well,
is
let
light
me
at the
let
end
me
of
ask you
that
a
tunnel.
hold on. You said something I want to ask about. You said you're old school and you grew up around women who dated high quality men.
They currently are dating.
Okay, but where are the husbands?
They're married, actually. They're
Okay,
married. I'm
but
sorry. They're
okay,
married.
all right, okay. And are you actually saying you've given up because what? There are no men out here
I've
that are
given
worth
up.
a damn?
No, and that's I want to say. Can I say this? I didn't say that my child's father wasn't shit. We were young, so my
You
issue and
said he
why I'm so
wasn't good enough.
he wasn't good enough for me to marry. I was a young girl. That's what I'm saying.
But you need to slow
Circumstances,
down. You need to slow down. When you
because
say a
you're not.
man, no, ma'am, I'll let you speak. When you say a
People
man's
go through
not,
stuff.
no. See, I'm not going to let you get that off. You say he wasn't good enough, then you shouldn't have had the baby.
I understand that I was young. That was
Okay, but you're still
experience.
saying okay.
That's
But
an
here's
experience.
first. Okay, you're not going to talk over me. I said it again. Your child is how old?
My child is 13.
And you're still this angry?
I'm not angry.
Oh yes,
Why
you are.
my
Yeah.
tone make
Oh,
you
okay.
think I'm far from angry.
Ma'am,
I'm very
ma'am.
what I'm angry
No,
about,
no, ma'am.
sir.
You need to check the. No,
Sir,
ma'am.
can I tell you
No,
what I'm
no.
angry?
You can. No, because you just said you were not angry, and now you're telling me you're angry, ma'am. I need to ask you one
I'm angry
question. I need you
because
to
I want
no,
women to know
no,
they can
no.
find husbands.
You're not going to do this shit. I don't see what you should give up because you're not fit to be with anybody.
Ladies, you guys can find
No,
love.
shut that shit up. You're not fit to be with anybody. You're zip damn crazy. And see, this is what I get tired of. You baby mamas like this one right here. Shout out to Minister Joe. These damn German shepherds out here thinking you're going to come and spew your poison on everybody else because you're broken ass. Take your ass to therapy because you are angry as a mother sucker. Ladies, don't listen to these fools. Woo, Lord have mercy. God bless. I feel bad for that boy. And this is what we have too often. Women like her telling other women, ain't nothing wrong, girl. You done went through it. You were young and made it. Okay, you were young. But does she sound like that to the women who think I'm wrong? Does that woman sound as though that situation is over? Because to me, it sounded like it's just as fresh as her 9th month of pregnancy. It sounds to me as though she is still deep, deep, deep in the mix. There has been no resolution. There has been no healing. She is a raw, exposed nerve and going to sit around talking about, I've given up on the world. Thank the world. Thank you. Because the world does not need you out here bouncing into other decent people when you're this freaking broken. But anywho, that was a good show. I do find it troubling, though, that young 24-year-old woman is calling in to try to, again, you can't make this shit up. You don't have any kids, but I need to go over here and defend this and defend that. No. What you need to do is make sure you don't repeat this bullshit. Because it's bullshit. Anybody who's been in it will tell you it's bullshit. Anybody who's lived through it will tell you it's bullshit. How do you know who to listen to? Listen to the people who say it's bullshit. Don't listen to the people who say, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, you were young. No. Those are the people who are still using that shit. So, shout out to the PhDs.
I'm a PhD.
Shout out to all the future dog owners. Because there are a lot. Look, the ASPCA is about to get rid of. The kennels are about to empty because dog adoptions are going to be at an all-time high with all these women who are just in no man's land. Just be wild. I ain't getting no man. I ain't going to get a man. Well, buy a dog. Well, that's what's coming next. I ain't got no man. Buy a dog. The ASPCA is going to be like, damn, we are out of dogs. To all the future dog owners. We're out of dogs. We got no more dogs left. Why? What happened? All the women from no man's land came in and took all the dogs. They're going to come in, they're going to reverse. They're going to come down like a pilgrimage. They're going to walk down to ASPCA. I need a dog. I need a dog too. I need a dog too. Big Shirley can come in here. I need to stop it. Cut it out. I've got a glandular problem. They're going to all come in there looking for dogs. You ever see a big woman with a little dog? It's really funny. Big old woman, little dog. It's like, aw. You're going to just see a bunch of, going to see some jacked up. Can you imagine when all the Christmas cards that are about to come in with all the bartenders over here and all the doggy moms? This is me and my man. This is me and my man. Got a woman and a dog on a Christmas card. Yeah, I'm clowning y'all because it's stupid. Talking about you giving up on people because they so bad. No. Relationships are reflective. We attract what we are. And let me round it all back. Just like the woman I talked about in this video, the woman I reached out to. Hey, you can't make it up. All that's in you, ma'am. And all you have to do is just ask a question. Blah. Seek therapy, ladies. Seek therapy. Because I will not sit around and tell you, oh, well, you know. The world owes you understanding. They don't care. Now, just because you have a child, does that mean it's a death sentence? No. But what it does mean is you need to sit down and realize that this child right here is the product of a relationship with another man. And whether I like it or not, whether I understand or not, whether I agree or not, the men that I want, the men that I would want, view this as a negative. And everyone is going to come along and tell you, well, that's just not the right man for you. And the man that's right for you will love your kids. That is a bunch of bullshit. I listen to everybody that tells women that. And I say, ladies, you pay attention to a guy like that at your own peril. They're telling you what they want you to hear so they can buy what they're selling. Men do not typically go out checking for women with children as the default setting. We don't want it Hey, you want to go out this weekend? Well, I need to find a sitter. How many different times do we have to tell you this, ladies? Having a child from another man is a negative. And men are tired of explaining this over and over. Men are tired of explaining it over and over, and men are tired of hearing other men lie to you and act like, well, if he loved you, he'll accept your children. That is one of the worst lies. This devilish shit is that. What's one of the most devilish things that have ever been told to women? That if the man does not like it, he ain't the right one for you. That is some devilish shit, in my opinion. That takes all the responsibility off of the women and puts it onto the men, as if the men are wrong for not wanting what's against nature. And that's really bad in the black community. Try this in Korea. Try it in Japan. Try it in China. They laugh at these concepts. You don't want the problems. Marry before you carry. So, here we go. I got to grab it. It was late. It's been a good show. Shout out to you, ma'am, for helping me to make some more content with your silly self. I really, truly hope that you ladies start getting more balanced information. Oh, I'm going to make a response video to this. I got something else coming tomorrow. Tomorrow night we have disagree. Tomorrow night is challenge. Tomorrow is challenge day. Challenge day. If you have an issue, challenge day. You can bring it on in on challenge day. We can talk about it. I should probably have somebody coming in. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Nepal. Come by. Let's also talk about this whole high value thing. A lot of people are getting their feelings about high value. And like it or not, high value men are valuable. Whether you like the way I defined it or not, I at least put it down and it's not vague and nebulous. What I did when I defined high value is I made it special and rare so you ladies understand how far apart it is from most men. If every man was high value, no man is high value. But there are plenty of people out there will tell you that a man is high value in relation to a woman. That is zip. The video's coming. But yeah. Ladies, you're going to have to decide who you're listening to. I don't proclaim to know everything. I just know what I know. But if you want to have the best shot at having a healthy, functioning relationship, coming to it with no children is the best option. If you do have a child, you're going to understand that men are going to have to decide whether or not they want to accept it or not. And more men are going to reject it long term than accept it. They'll say they're accepting it just to get in, hit, and leave. But you ask your male friends, ask men in your family, would you choose to go out and marry a woman who has children from another man? Not date, not deal with, kick it. Ask men that you respect, would you choose to go out and marry a woman who has children from another man? And watch what they tell you. All right. Till the next time, y'all know how it is. Peace. We are gone. Big Shirley. Sleeping early. Big Shirley. Good show.
It's not hard to fool me.
Man,
Cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Keep coming to the cool box. Dionisio.
I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe.
My next ex-wife.
I follow.
This is Ovulation in the Bottle. like Pulp Fiction.
So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah.
Look at it, like, looks like some shit off Indiana Jones, right? Big Shirley, go to bed early. Good night.
It's not a problem.
Big Shirley.
'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. No.
Say your goodbyes in the chat room.